Hi, welcome to this video. And today's topic, you can see it is understanding the parent who hurt us, and then it is setting ourselves free. So a little bit context of what this video is going to be about and what is my intention with this video for you today. So because my main work is around helping you go from a place where you have an unhealthy relationship with yourself to a place where you build a healthy, loving and understanding relationship with your own self. So the topic that we have chosen today, it is something that happens, or a reason or a core part of having developed an unhealthy relationship with oneself. So the fact that we have an unhealthy relationship with ourselves, it means that somewhere, a toxic parent, an unavailable parent, or a very significant person, from where we expected love, a person where the kind of relationship that we expected was of love and care and understanding, but that didn't happen. Instead, what happened was, we got to live with a person who was unavailable, emotionally never available, who never made us feel safe. This thing, a toxic parent or having lived with an unavailable parent is at the core of having developed an unhealthy relationship with yourself as an adult. And it is the truth of it, because nobody is born with an unhealthy relationship with yourself. So there's something that happens, that you end up developing this unhealthy relationship with yourself. And a core part of it is that growing up with parents who fail to show you or model a healthy relationship of what a healthy relationship looks like, or they fail to make you feel that safety, or that a healthy relationship, or they fail to build that healthy relationship with yourself. So this is what this video is going to be about, and my intention for this video is to help you understand the importance of understanding the person who hurt us, and to help you understand the significance of doing so, because it is literally related to setting yourself free. So अगर हम ये करने की बात कर रहे हैं, so there is this, the reason is that when we do this, when we start to understand that person who hurt us, we actually set ourselves free again. And here understanding को हम forgive भी कह सकते हैं, forgiving the parent or forgiving the person who hurt us. But before forgiving, what comes? Understanding. The moment I start to understand somebody, वो जो forgiving होता है, वो eventually it ends up happening, right? So why it is important? Because it is about ourselves, because it is going to help me set myself free. Because I'm going to talk about the present scenario, what happens, and why it is important for me to understand the other person who is involved in this dynamic with me, or who is the core reason of me having developed an unhealthy relationship with myself. So let's get started right away. So the intention is to help you understand, or to help you look at the reality of if you have an unhealthy relationship with yourself, what is something that is fueling it even today, so that you can release it, you can step out of this, so that you can help yourself, right? So let's get started. So first I'm going to talk about section 1, which is here, which is what is happening at present. So see, मैंने यहाँ पे draw किया है, this is us, ठीक है? यहाँ मैं I write here, this is us, and this is the unavailable toxic parent. So here in this dynamic, two people are standing. So first ये हम है, right? And please note that here we are standing on the base of self dislike. मतलब यहाँ पे I've assumed that I here as a person share an unhealthy relationship with myself, that is I'm standing on the foundation of self dislike. And यहाँ पर ये मैं हूँ, and यहाँ पर मैंने ड्रॉ किया है unavailable toxic parent. And now here when I'm this person, all I know or all I have awareness of is कि myself, कि मेरे अंदर क्या हो रहा है. All I know is that okay, I hate myself, I don't like myself. All I am aware of is that okay, the relationship that I share with myself, the way I feel in myself, the way I think about myself is not healthy, is not good enough, is toxic. I do not have much awareness about this person. All I know is that our relationship, all I care about is the kind of relationship I share with this person. All I have awareness of is that how this person makes me feel, or how I have felt growing up with this person, and how I even feel today when I'm in front of, or when I'm in the presence of this person. I have no knowledge of okay, what is the base they are standing on, right? So utni knowledge nahi hai mujhe. That is why I haven't drawn this foundation, जबकि in reality all of us are standing in some kind of foundation. So यहाँ पे भी वो foundation exist कर रहा है. It's just that I don't have the awareness of it, right? Because all we know is that okay, यहाँ पर मेरे अंदर क्या हो रहा है, and another thing that we are aware of in this dynamic is the kind of relationship I share with this person, how this person makes me feel. Okay, सो यहाँ पर मैंने यहाँ पर दूसरा इंसान को जो दिखाया है, आई एम अज्यूमिंग दैट हियर दिस पर्सन इज एन अनअवेलेबल और टॉक्सिक पेरेंट एंड सी व्हाट इज द काइंड ऑफ रिलेशनशिप यू आर शेयरिंग हियर, द अटैचमेंट लव हेट बॉन्ड, एंड मैंने एरो यहाँ से यहाँ ड्रॉ किया. सो इट्स नॉट what is happening from here to here but from our perspective. So what is the kind of bond that I'm sharing with this person is love hate bond. I'm going to explain it कि why it is love hate bond. So but यहाँ से यहाँ अगर मैं ड्रॉ करती तो क्या होता, यहाँ से सिर्फ मुझे टॉक्सिक दिख रहा है बिकॉज हियर आई एम कंसर्न अबाउट माई सेल्फ. आई डू नॉट नो दिस पर्सन बिकॉज ये जो पूरी स्टोरी है, जो पूरा केस स्टडी है, वो हम किसके व्यू से पढ़ रहे हैं, अपने व्यू से, राइट, फ्रॉम आर सेल्स, फ्रॉम आर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. बिकॉज when we talk about unhealthy relationship with ourselves, we can help ourselves, right? So we are talking about us working on ourselves or doing the inner work to move from this place to a place where I have a healthy relationship with myself. So here as I said कि यहाँ पर हमारा जो relationship होगा, जो bond होगा मेरी तरफ से, it is love hate bond. Now why love because when we are attached with somebody, especially a caretaker, a person who is supposed to give us love, who is supposed to make us feel safe, and we have this sense or this knowledge or this expectation, it is set in us. वो बचपन से होता है हमारे अंदर, that okay, this person I'm supposed to, I want love from this person, that seeking, it is always there. So love because somewhere deep within, no matter what happens, what actually happens in the physical space, but internally deep within me, I will always have that core of me who even still wants love from this person, who even still today expects this person to make me feel safe, to accept me, to validate me, to give me the love. Hence that is the space where this love or this expectation of love is coming from. And hate because I don't like how this person makes me feel. I don't like that this person is toxic to me. I don't like that this person criticizes me so much that they don't see the value in me, that they keep criticizing me, keep making me feel bad about my own self. And it is the reason, that is the reason, why I have self dislike, or why I have an unhealthy relationship with myself today. Because growing up, I felt so useless, so unworthy, so I've grown up feeling like I'm of no use, I have no worth, I have no value. Why? Because of the relationship that I shared with this person. Because here what I constantly received was toxicity, criticism, negative remarks, negative feedbacks. Here I was constantly told in this relationship that I'm good for nothing, or more than told, that is how I was made to feel. Hence the hate. So hate is stronger here. Hate is visible. Hate is what I will recall when you talk to me about this dynamic. But deep within, somewhere there's love. Somewhere there's this soft corner inside me for them, that I wish this person loved me. I wish our dynamic was different. I wish we shared a bond of love. Okay, so this is what is happening right now. And यहाँ पे मैंने लिखा है attached. And see, जब मैंने attached लिखा है, तो what 2 points are being attached here? So the kind of dynamic that I share here, the kind of relationship that I share with this person here, who is actually toxic and unavailable, I'm assuming, emotionally unavailable. So यहाँ पर see, I've drawn, मतलब ये जो circle मैंने draw किया है, I've written core. So here it is self-worth, or you can call it identity. So again, same core, right? And यहाँ पर इस इंसान का भी एक core है. So in this dynamic, in the present scenario, what happens is that I'm strongly attached with this person because there's a relationship, there's a dynamic, ठीक है? So I'm strongly attached, and जब attached की बात होती है तो कहीं ना कहीं when I'm attached with the person, and especially with the person who is a very significant person in my life, like somebody who is actually in the position of a caretaker, somebody who comes in that segment, in that category. So here जाहिर सी बात है, वो एक trust factor आता है, that I trust that person blindly. I've grown up trusting that person blindly, and that is why I have come to a position where I don't like myself, where I don't feel good about myself, because this person happened to be a toxic person. But that doesn't change the fact that I have this bond, that even today I trust this person. Because see, when I've written that here we are attached, and here I've shown this circle as core, self-worth, identity. It means that even today I am somewhere deriving my self-worth, my identity, or my core of who I am, how much worthy and valuable I am from this relationship. Matlab, my core, my self-worth, my identity still somewhere comes from this person's core, self-worth and identity. Matlab, even today I'm somewhere deriving, or my self-worth still depends on the kind of relationship that I share with this person. Matlab कि मेरी बहुत सारी energy अभी भी यहीं जा रही है, because when we are assuming that this person is unavailable and toxic, see, nothing is going to change this unless this person chooses to work on themselves, chooses to do inner work, and work on themselves so that they get rid of this toxicity that has become their trait, their personality. So unless this person is working on it actively, this person is going to remain unavailable and toxic, right? So I'm assuming that this person is toxic. So even today, it does not matter that I have developed an unhealthy relationship, or I started to dislike myself because of this relationship, or because that this person was toxic. It is not going to change the fact that even today I will share that same relationship, same attachment with this person. Because no matter how much awareness I have, or I'm assuming that we do not have that much awareness, and that is why we are attached, वो relationship वहीं रहेगा. My feelings or my dependency on that relationship, on that person, to define myself, to consider my self-worth, to determine my identity is going to be same, is going to be there. So it does not matter what I think. It does not matter how much I dislike this relationship. It does not matter how much I hate this person, or how much I start to hate this relationship that I share with them. As long as this attachment is going to be there, as long as I'm going to keep sending my energy to this person, that why this person hates me, why couldn't this person love me, as long as I'm going to be sending my energy in that direction, or seeking that love from them, or keeping this relationship, this bond so attached, so tightly, my self-worth, my identity, everything will always be impacted by this relationship, by this person, which I'm assuming is happening right now, because we are sharing this love-hate bond. Whether the bond is of love or hate, bond is there, right? That attachment is there. We are attached with this person. String bandi, we are energetically connected to this person. We are deriving our energy from this bond. We are sending constant energy to this person. Okay. So now when we are in this present, like when this is happening, when we are in this dynamic, when we are attached, when even today we have certain these questions, so when we are in this dynamic, when we share this love-hate bond, what is happening inside us, what goes on, what are my thoughts, what I think about dominantly, how am I really sending them energy here. So first question that keeps revolving in my head is, or first question that is very dominant in my body is, why couldn't they love me? So meaning to say that here, even though this person is toxic, even though I know that this person doesn't make me feel good, or even though I know that somewhere the fact that I hate myself, that I have an unhealthy relationship with myself, the reason is this person, or the way they made me feel, or the relationship I shared with them, I've still not detached, I've still not done something about it, I'm still not able to stop defining myself from this person. I'm not able to do something about it. And why? Because see, I'm attached, I'm sending energy, I'm receiving energy from this relationship. How? Because this is still prevalent in me. I'm still asking myself, why couldn't they love me? This question is still there, unanswered. A part of me still wants to answer that why couldn't they love me? Because here, a core reason of self-dislike is that here, as a child, we start to think that, the fact that this person is toxic to me, the fact that this parent is unavailable to me, the problem was in me. And hence we stop loving ourselves. But हमें इतनी awareness नहीं है यहाँ पर. For us, all of it makes sense. It is true. So here, the only question that remains in us is that why couldn't they love me? Because only if they loved me, I would feel so good, I would feel so worthy, so valuable. So this is one question that we'll not ask them this outrightly, but inside us we'll still carry this question, which hurts us, because again, even though the answer does not come from outside, we know, we answer it for ourselves. They couldn't love me because I was not worthy of their love, because I was not good enough, and which is nothing but fueling my unhealthy relationship with myself. It is further feeding my self-dislike, something that is not helping us. That is why we are talking about this, so that you understand, so that you are able to get yourself out of this dynamic, this energy dynamic that's playing out, which is not helping me, which is further fueling my self-dislike and unhealthy relationship with myself. So one thing we learned is that this question is so much prevalent in me. This is why we are so bonded with this person, even though this person hurts us, even though we know that our bond is of toxic, it's not helping me. We are still attached, because we are still seeking the answer to this question, that why couldn't they love me? So here what is happening? We have an unresolved bond with this person. ये जो हमारा bond है, it is not clean, it is not clear, it is not a resolved bond. It's unresolved. There's a lot that needs to be processed, that needs to be answered. So it's not a helpful bond or helpful relationship. It is a relationship that's only harming you. Second thing, defining yourself through them. Here at this point, because this bond exists, because we're so attached to this person, अब वो bond कैसा भी हो, love या hate, we are somewhere even today defining ourselves through this relationship, through this person, through what they think of me. Somewhere my opinion of how I am or who I am still depends on what this person thinks of me. Even though we admit it or not, that is the truth. That is why it hurts us when this person does not treat us with respect. It hurts us when this person even today criticizes us and does not make us feel good. Last, unanswered questions. I have so much unanswered question in myself. within myself towards this relationship, towards this person, that why why couldn't this person love me? Why was I not accepted? Why didn't they ever come sit with me and accepted me with open arms? So all these questions, all of these things are happening inside me, and that is why I'm so energetically bonded with this person, because I don't have answers. I don't have answers that why couldn't this person love me? Why did they criticize me? Why did they behave with me such a way that, just crushed my soul, that made me into a person where I just don't like myself, because of which I also don't like my life. So we have so much unanswered, so much unresolved in this relationship, that even today, whether we realize it or not, we are bonded with this relationship. We are feeding this relationship, which is again harming us in return. It is not helping us, and that is why we are talking about this, so that you understand what needs to happen, so that you step out of this dynamic, you stop feeding your energy into this thing, so that you can come back to yourself and choose to change this thing, change this thing to go to a point where you are building a healthy and loving and understanding relationship with yourself, which you always deserved. So now let's come to the second part, in which we are going to answer these questions, in which we are going to help you understand this person. And there's a reason why we want to understand this person, and it can be triggering, when I say that here we are going to understand this person, or we are going to try to understand their point of view. But what's the end goal? Why we are doing that? It is to help you, because right now we are energetically feeding this relationship. We are so much attached to them, and it is not helping us. So when I talk of understanding them, the end goal is to help yourself. You will be able to release yourself of this relationship. You will be able to cut off from this relationship, which means you will be able to let go of all these anger, of all this hatred that we feel so much towards this person, because of which we are still today bonded with this person, whether we realize it or not. We are still feeding them energy, even though outrightly we say that, oh, I don't care about the person, I just hate that person. So let's come to the second section, which is about looking at them objectively. I've titled it looking at them objectively, or it can be about setting ourselves free. Okay, how do I set myself free of this bond? For that, we are going to again cover it from section by section. So in this second section also, first we are going to cover this A part. A part में क्या सी, again here we are two people, ये मैं है, ये हम हैं, this is us, and this is the toxic parent or the toxic person. So first let's cover this part. See, when I say of understanding a person or understanding the parent who hurt us here, so let's look, what does understanding mean? So जब मैं understanding कहती हूँ, तो right now when we are here in this scenario, what is happening is that we have so many questions, that why didn't this person love me? क्यों नहीं इन्होंने मुझे वो love दिया? Why didn't they accept me? And because ultimately we are making it about ourselves, right? We are answering कि I was not good enough. So here, to understand is to find the answer, that why couldn't this person love, accept and validate us? What was happening, or what was the real reason that this person could not love me, or could not make me feel safe, or could not behave with me with respect and love? Why were they always so quick to criticize me? Because there's a reason behind why someone is the way they are, right? So we're going to dive deeper into their life to understand them. So, and to understand somebody, what needs to happen is we need to understand their past, we need to understand their story. So a very quick, a very brief, a very brief look into how the past of this person looks like. Here, see, here I've drawn their past. So I want you to imagine that this is their younger self. See, we have come to know this person at a certain point in their life, after a certain age. But here I want you to visualize their younger self. Younger self matlab any age where this person too was naive. They too needed love at that point in their life. See, all of us need love when we are small, right? All of us want to be accepted. So I want you to imagine their younger self. And then I want you to consider all these things never loved. So their younger self, or when they were in a position in their life where they needed love, they needed acceptance from their caretakers, from their parents, what happened with them actually, which actually ended up turning them into a toxic parent or a toxic person is, this person was never loved. So the child version of them, they were never loved. What they felt was scared and alone. They always felt like, okay, scared and that I'm alone. Because of all of this, what is there? Unprocessed pain. So this child version or this person even today is carrying a lot of unprocessed pain that even they haven't felt, that even they feel scared of processing, of feeling, of letting that pain come to them. And when we are holding on to a lot of unprocessed pain, when we have a story of our own selves to which we cannot make sense of, matlab a story that we have not come to make peace with, when we're holding on to a lot of pain, unprocessed emotions inside ourselves, we actually end up becoming a toxic person, where the only way we know to relieve ourselves is to take out that toxicity, to give that pain on to somebody else, to regulate ourselves. That is the only way we know. So here, when I'm asking you to understand this toxic person, all that I'm asking you to understand is that, because I want you to understand that the place where this person is coming. I want you to visualize that what could have happened to this person, that today they are like this, that they are a certain way. So if somebody is toxic, what could have happened to them as a child or as a young person, that today they have come to be like that, that today their beliefs are a certain way, that today all they can give is toxicity, is negativity, is criticism. So even this person was not born toxic from their mother's womb, right? Something happened. And when I ask you to understand this toxic person, it is in no way to give them the license to abuse somebody, to neglect somebody, or to treat somebody with hatred or criticism or negativity. It is not to justify their behavior today as a toxic parent. No. Again, as I said, the entire point of understanding them is to help you. It is going to help you. I'll tell you how. Because I'm assuming that once you start to truly understand this person, once you start to truly imagine or visualize or become curious about that person, that parent, that okay, agar koi insan aisa hai, if a person is at a place where they're just not able to love, where they're just not able to express their emotions, that to their child or their family members, imagine how much pain they carry within themselves, how much hatred they carry towards their own self, that all they can give to their child, to their family is the same pain, criticism, negativity. Once you truly start to understand their story, to understand their past, the place that they come from, you will what you will start to understand, that the fact that the person is toxic today, that all they can give is criticism, or all they can make somebody feel is bad in themselves, or that there's something wrong in me. You will start to understand that the fact that this person is here today, it means that it means that that is all that they had. So it is not actually about me, because up until now मैं क्या सोच रही हूँ, that I'm so attached with this person, I'm so angry at this person, I'm hating this person so much because I think that this person intentionally did not love me, that this person intentionally did not accept me and validate me, which was their duty, which was their job. It was my birthright to have it from them. That is why we are hating on them. That is why we are so strongly attached. We're sending so much hateful energy to them. That is why we have so much unanswered question, because we want answers. We want this person to tell us the answer. But in reality, when you start to understand this person, you will realize that that is all that this person had. They just did not have enough love, appreciation, safety inside them to give it to me. So उनका जो self worth है, उनका जो identity था, वो already बहुत unhealthy, बहुत toxic था. That is why the only thing that they could give me, the only way that they could make me feel was same. Toxic, unhealthy, negative about my own self. And once you start to understand this person, once you really understand that, the way this person behaved with me, the toxicity they gave me, the criticism they gave me constantly, the unsafety they made me feel, it was never about me. It was about them. It was about the space they were coming from. So अगर मेरी जगह कोई और भी होता, even if it was somebody else at my place, this person would have behaved same with them, because it was about them. It was never about me. It was about them. It was never about me. And once you understand this, the more you reflect on this, the more you see, the moment you have this information, it is not going to bring a change. Because what is dominant in my brain? Hating this person, thinking that this person did not love me because I was not worthy, I wasn't good enough. So that is right now strong in my brain, in my system. But the more I reflect on this, the more I'm willing to understand their story, to understand their past, to really look at why this person is toxic. The more I do that, the more I will be able to really understand that, it was never about me. So it just does not matter how much I hate them, or how much I'm angry at them for not loving me, because it was never about me. It was about them. It is their unprocessed pain, which I cannot do anything about. All I can do about is my pain, my unhealthy relationship with myself, the hatred I feel against myself, that I can heal myself. That is my option. That is what I can do. That is my choice. And if I do not choose to heal myself, if I do not choose to, process my unprocessed pain, the hatred I feel, the self-dislike I have in myself, maybe tomorrow I also turn turn up like such a person. Maybe I also become toxic for somebody else. So the more you understand this, the more you start to understand that there's no point of hating this person, because it was never about me, it was about them. They just didn't have love in themselves. They just never felt that acceptance and validation from somebody, from their caretaker, to be in a position where they could give it to me. So it's like asking for it was like I'm asking rice from this person when their bowl is empty. They just do not have rice in their bowl. How can I expect this person to pour or to give me rice from their bowl? So, and when you understand this, you would stop asking them for the rice. You would stop looking at them. You would stop seeking that validation and acceptance and love from them. And when you do that, what is happening? You are actually emotionally, at an emotional level, able to release, to cut off from this bond. And when I say bond, cut off from the bond, it is not that you're ending the relationship. No. It is that love-hate bond where you're seeking something, where there's expectation, where there's anger, where there's hate. You're able to release the bond. You actually release the person. You allow themselves to be themselves. You allow them to be themselves. You cut off. You're no more seeking answers. You're no more hating them or angry at them for being a certain way. Because now you understand that it's their life. It was their story. It was not about me. And now you come back to yourself. The third thing that happens is you come back to yourself. So first, you understand this person. You understand the story. Second, because of which you are able to release the bond. That because you understand finally that no matter what I do, no matter how much I'm seeking love from this person, they can never give it to me because it was never about me. It was about them. And the third thing that happens as a result of that is you come back to yourself. Because now finally when you release the bond, your energy is not being wasted here. Your energy is not getting utilized in this relationship anymore, asking or seeking or expecting something that can never come from there. You come back to yourself. Here what happens, you start to understand them. You stop making their behavior about yourself. Now you stop defining your self-worth and identity based on how they are treating you, based on their opinion of you. And you're able to detach your worth value from their action, because up until now I was defining my worth and value from their action. वो मेरे बारे में क्या सोचते हैं, how they think of me, how they behave with me, how they treat me. It was about me. It said something about me. But now the moment that I've started to understand that it is about them, it was never about me, I'm able to detach this core. And when I'm detaching this bond, my core is here. I can actually determine my core, my self-worth, and I can actually build my identity stand alone, like in a healthy manner, the way I choose to, because now my core is no more being determined by their core, which is again unhealthy, toxic. So I have come back to myself. I'm in a position where I can focus on myself, where my energy is not being utilized in this relationship and this person. It can come back to me. I can utilize my energy in helping me focus on myself, so that I can build a healthy relationship with my own self. And at last, what I've written, I'm finally in a position where I'm able to direct the same energy, all my emotions, to focus on myself, so that which I can use to develop a healthy relationship with myself, right? And this is the answer. This is what is in your hand. This is the only choice you have. No matter how toxic a person was, you cannot do. You do not get to choose that, okay, I want this person to be happy. I want them to work on themselves so that they turn from toxic to a healthy parent, to a loving parent. No, that is not under your hand. What is under your control is to develop a healthy relationship with yourself, so that here at this point, instead of standing on a base of self-dislike, you start to stand on a base which is of self-acceptance, self-love, self-understanding. So the only thing that is in your hand is to determine how I think and feel about myself, how my life is, how I am feeling in my body. Am I feeling comfortable and confident? When I look into the mirror, how do I feel? And that is the work I do. I help you go from a place where you have an unhealthy relationship with yourself, where you do not like yourself, where you don't, it just, looking at yourself just makes you feel uncomfortable. You don't accept yourself the way you are, to a place where you accept yourself, where you understand yourself, where you love yourself, which actually makes your life very easier, so much relaxing, so much more beautiful than it seems right now. Because the way I think about myself, it's going to determine how I see the world also. So yes, this is the work I do, and I do this through coaching sessions. My first coaching session is free. Clarity calls are free. So to do this work, to start your journey of building a healthy and loving relationship with yourself, which is essentially moving towards a healthier and happier life, go ahead, DM me session. I'll put my WhatsApp number in the description and comment. DM me session on my WhatsApp contact. I'll share you the meeting link, and we'll meet in the first session. It's a very safe space, a space where you can actually, bring out all that's inside you, and we can have a coaching, we can have a conversation around it, so that by the end of it, you know what you need to do and what's the solution like. All right, so bye-bye, and I'll meet you in the next video or in the session. Bye bye.